Aaron Judge wreaking havoc on Major League Baseball right now. 25 home runs, leading the league. 62 RBI, leading the league. Slugging percentage 712, leading the league. He's having a phenomenal year right now, would certainly be the MVP. And you have a microwave take from several years ago. I think it was, 2017, maybe
Chris,
2018?
this is unbelievable. Yeah, this goes back 7 years,
Well,
right?
I'll be the judge of that. But,
Okay.
nah. But it was a background, 18, 17. 17 is when he hit the 52, so I'm guessing it was right after that, maybe?
It was
Maybe
during
the year
that
after
season, I want to say, because he hadn't hit it yet.
Well, here we go. Microwave take from Rob Parker.
Heat an old hot take that's gone cold.
Hot on the outside, icicle in the middle.
It's Microwave Take with the Odd Couple.
I'm Rob Parker. This is Getting Robbed, and here are my top 5 sluggers of all time. Number 5, Aaron Judge from the New York Yankees. 6'7", 282 pounds. The Yankees have a section for him called Judge's Chamber. It tells you about this guy's home run swing. Chris, when I originally did this was for FS1 when we were doing these little vignettes. People criticized me that I put Aaron Judge in the top 5 sluggers of all. This is my list. And I try to tell people, it would be ridiculous. They say, where's Hank Aaron? Where's Babe Ruth? If we're just going to list the top 5 home run hitters, then we all have the same list. Would you agree with that?
Right.
So it can't be that, okay? So no Ken Griffey Jr., no Hank Aaron, no Willie Mays, no Babe Ruth. Otherwise, we would all have the same list. So people criticize me that I
What was your list other than Judge? Where was Judge and what was the list?
So Judge was number 5. I had Mark McGwire in there. I don't know the exact Mark McGwire. I had Alex Rodriguez. I had Darryl Strawberry, and I had Barry Bonds. I think those were my 5 that I had on my list.
Okay.
And my point, though, Chris, is I got criticized for putting Judge in. And Rob G., what was his rookie year? Was this his second year, 2017? I don't remember, or third year. But my big criticism, Chris, was that it's too soon. Like, how do you have him there? And I'm going to say, Chris, you notice you dub people, you see people. Right. And way back when, I looked at this dude and his swing and what he's done. And the only thing that has stopped him is what, Chris? What has stopped Aaron Judge? When he plays, he's lights out, right?
Yep.
He's lights out. When he's healthy, when he's playing. He got a slump to start the year, but you know what I mean. Over the course of a full year, he's going to put up numbers. So it is incredible. And Rob G., give us the details on what he just did, Chris. You know, I'm calling him the most prolific home run hitter we've ever seen. And this is not hyperbole. I'm not trying to make a hot take. But he now has the numbers, Chris, to back up what I'm saying.
That's
Rob,
right.
You got some numbers?
Last night, Tuesday night, hit his 25th home run of the season, which we already talked about that, Chris. But with that homer, he became Major League Baseball's all-time leader in games per home run.
Can you believe that, Chris?
He hits a home run every 3.2 games he plays. For context, Babe Ruth is 3.5. Barry Bonds is 3.9.
That's incredible, Chris, that he's on that pace.
Well, here's where I would disagree. That pace is going to slow down. Those numbers aren't. When he retires, it ain't going to be 3.2, because he's not going to hit home runs at this rate throughout the course of his career. I don't think. If he does, I'll give it to you. Right now, I think you're a prisoner of the moment. I mean, he's only hit 40 or more home runs twice. So he's got to, I mean, you're right in that.
Hank Aaron never hit 50. You know what I mean?
Well, Hank Aaron's not viewed as the most prolific home run hitter in the
But I'm saying
history.
he was the home run king for a long time.
I mean, Hank had 8 times he hit 40 or more. Of course, he played far more years.
He played 23
Barry Bonds
years.
Did it 8 times. Babe Ruth 11 times. So My point, though, I hear you, and if he can stay healthy, you're right. That has been the only knock against him, but it's a heck of a knock because he is injured so much. And I don't think, Rob, if he's injured and he never, let's say he ends up with 411 home runs, I don't think you're going to be able to call him the most prolific home run hitter of all time. And I'm not saying it's just about the total numbers.
No. It's
but
about
you
per
got to be
game.
available, yeah.
Right.
And you got to be available, too. He does have the highest home run rate, whether it's per game, per bat.
That's impressive. Yeah. It is, even at this point.
But don't you think that's going to go down as he gets older and plays longer? That's generally what happens.
Yeah, probably, but
except for Barry Bonds.
Right. But the thing is, Chris, which is incredible, is he's still a young guy, still got 8 years ahead of him. He's not old. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's got 8 years to go or whatever. He can pile up a lot, and playing at Yankee Stadium, it's not the biggest ballpark. You could go to right field, Chris, and pop home runs. He hits to all fields. I think he's in a great ballpark to hit home runs. That's going to help him, just like Babe Ruth had the short porch at Yankee Stadium. That helped him. So I think that's going to be a thing that helps him. But I'm starting to look like he got off. Think about where he is and what he's doing, Chris. And he had a terrible April. Remember? Terrible. And his numbers where they are now is incredible, despite I think he only had maybe 1 or 2 home runs in April.
Yeah, I think it's just too early to say he's the greatest slugger of all time. I'm not saying he has to finish as the all-time home run leader or anything like that. I just think he needs to do it a little bit longer. If you want to say, like I've said about Shohei, best player I've ever seen, not the GOAT. So if you want to say that, certainly, you can. But he's just got to keep it up. And, even this streak now, is this just a streak? In 2021, he played 148 games. That's basically a whole year, had 39 homers. That's great, but it's not like, historic.
Here we are. We got how many weeks till the All-Star? July 14th, right? So we got a month left still, and he's got 25 already. He could have 30. He could have 32.
Oh, yeah,
Chris,
he could be on pace.
You know what
to
I mean?
Something serious.
Yeah, because you got a month. Can he hit 7 more home runs in a month and have 32 going into the All-Star break?
Well, like you said, the key is, can he stay on this pace? And not even this pace, because this is just
right.
Incredible.
This is like a home run almost every other day.
Right, exactly. But can he stay, somewhere near this pace? And Barry Bonds, look, Rob, Barry Bonds, I've never seen anything like him in baseball. Now, we believe there was, he had some extra help. The home run percentage when he hit 73 was 11%. That's by far the best of any season. But Judge is almost 9% right now, which is tremendous.
Right.
Rob
G had some more. You got more numbers of other players.
Well, no, it's just the extent of that games per home run list.
Right.
I brought up Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds. Those are the 2 biggest names that people want to hear about. You hear those names, and you automatically, get some credibility. But if you go down the list, the top 10 in order, and this is not exactly, the who's who of power hitters, if you really think about it. So it goes Judge, McGuire, Ruth, Pete Alonso.
Wow. But Pete Alonso has hit a lot of home runs.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
Yordan Alvarez. Sammy Sosa. We don't know what color he was at that time, but Juan Gonzalez.
He's white now, I think.
Yeah,
he's white now.
Juan Gonzalez, Barry Bonds, and Ralph, Kiner?
Ralph Kiner. Kiner was the Mets announcer for a long time. He played for the Pirates, and he hit like 400 home runs in 10 years, something like that.
Well, see, that's kind of what I'm talking about, Rob. It's like you can have a nice run, and obviously that's what some of these guys have had. Some of them are younger, obviously Alvarez and guys like that. So can they keep it up? But Judge is phenomenal. I just wish, let me put it this way, Rob. I hope he can stay healthy going forward. Because
if he can stay healthy, he has a chance. A longtime baseball writer texted me today. He says this dude's going to the Hall of Fame if he stays healthy. Like
absolutely.
Like he's a Hall of Fame caliber player. I've never seen. And then when like I said, 5 years ago I put him on the list. 7 years ago I put him on the list because I just saw like the swing, the stadium he's going to play in. Most of his games, Chris, 81 of them. When you add those things together, how in the world are you not going to hit home runs? He's big, he's strong, and if it's not like when he's healthy, he's scuffling. Normally, that's just not the case. If he's
when he's healthy, he's great. I mean, you look at Stanton. That's his problem. He's worse than Judge as far as
and Stanton has 400 and Chris. He's close to getting.
Yeah.
He's going to get to what is he at?
He has 418 home runs.
He's going to get to 500 if he can just stay healthy for the next few years.
Right, I agree. Let me ask you this, because Judge right now is the MVP. If he's got
of the
two
AL,
MVP,
right?
right. If he's got 2 MVPs, does that make? Because let's say he wins this second MVP, but continues to have injury problems, maybe doesn't win another one. Does that put him in the Hall? 2 MVPs in an injury-plagued career?
There's 2 MVPs.
Plus
you know what?
AL,
I'm gonna say
the AL home run record, whatever that's
I mean,
worth.
Chris, that's a big, because you got to win some national things. You got to set some records.
Yep.
And I think those things
if
work in his favor.
injuries worked against,
Right,
if it wasn't just he just fell off, you know what I mean? And
he could make it on that because he has some benchmarks. He has something. And if the Yankees were able to win a World Series this year or next year or whatever it is, that'll be another thing. He needs to win too, because Jeter and all those other guys who came before him, they all won.
Well,
Even
that's
A-Rod won.
the
He's gotta
burden of
win.
being a Yankee.
Yep.
It's really not anywhere else, or most other teams. It's not the burden. But yeah, Yankees. I mean, we talk now. I think he's better just when healthy than Don Mattingly.
Right.
But that's Mattingly. Like
that was the
everybody
thing.
loved him, but he never won. And when you're with the Yankees, that matters.
No, it does. And the crazy thing is, Chris, he made the playoffs, right, in 95. That was his last year. And then the Yankees won in 96 the very next year.
That's just
The very next year they won.
Be crushing.